Just to streamline the process of learning with this course, I've created this very short playlist, and hopefully using this playlist, you will be able to comfortably follow along the AutoCAD for Windows course using your Mac AutoCAD. Now, before I begin exploring the user interface of Mac, I want you to tell you about key differences between AutoCAD for Windows and AutoCAD for Mac and why these differences exist in the first place. So basically, AutoCAD for Mac was not in production for quite some time, and then Autodesk decided to make it from scratch, which will be completely based on Mac OS software. So Autodesk simply did not want to make just a copy of the Windows version. Instead, they just wanted to make a completely new product which will be suited for the Mac users. And this new AutoCAD for Mac is a result of that. Since AutoCAD for Mac has been made from ground up for Mac OS, it will feel a lot more similar to all the other Mac applications. But this AutoCAD for Mac is, in a way, still in production, and not all the tools and feature sets are transferred from the Windows version to the Mac version. The features are gradually added to the Mac version with every new release of AutoCAD for Mac, but there are some features and tool sets which Autodesk was not able to add because of limitations of the operating system. But still, both AutoCAD for Mac and Windows work in completely similar way. The major shocker or the major difference which you'll see here is the user interface, which is different, but apart from that, everything works exactly the same. Even the DWG file format, which is the native file format for AutoCAD, is similar for both the versions, and if you make a drawing in AutoCAD for Mac and open it in AutoCAD for Windows, it will work. Similarly, the vice versa is also true. So the files are compatible on both the versions of AutoCAD. Also, there are many features which are not available in AutoCAD for Mac, and to get a comprehensive list of that feature set, you can go to the link in this video and it will take you to this page. On this page, you can clearly see that we have kind of a comparison between the AutoCAD for Windows and Mac. This comparison is for 2019 version, but it will be updated for the latest version as well. So here I have drawing layout quick view, not available in Windows, but it's available in Mac. And yes, you can see there is a big comparison chart here. And obviously AutoCAD for Mac has a lot of missing features. One of the most prominent one will be dynamic block, which you can see is quite limited. It's still there, but it's called Content Explorer, which is limited. Not all the blocks are here, but still it's there. To check the complete comparison chart, click the link and it will take you to this one. Even when you are using AutoCAD for Mac and the course has been made with AutoCAD for Windows, I still encourage you to explore the Mac environment, try to figure out the tools. If they are not available on the ribbons or on the panels, try to use its command, because the commands are exactly similar in both the versions, in AutoCAD for Mac as well as in AutoCAD for Windows. They are exactly the same. But still, if you're not able to figure out the commands and tools and the way they work, you can drop me a message or you can let me know in the Q&A section of the course, and I'll try to get back with answers as soon as possible. So now let's have a look at the user interface of AutoCAD for Mac. So now I'll introduce you to the Mac environment of AutoCAD, and here I'll try to make a comparison between this environment and the Windows environment. So we'll try to compare both the user interfaces, and after this comparison, I believe you will be comfortable in following along this AutoCAD for Windows course using the Mac environment. But still, this comparison will not be 100%. You won't be able to find all the tools of Windows environment inside this Mac AutoCAD, but it will definitely introduce you to most of the fundamental tools. So just like every classical Mac software interface, we have the menu structure here on the top. So we have file, edit, view, insert, format, and all these things. And when you select any of these, for example, if you select this draw menu, you'll get all the draw tools here. Selecting the dimension will show you all the dimension related tools and so on. So this one is pretty straightforward, and you can not only access the tools from here, but you can also access the tools from these panels right here on the left and also from the panel here on the right. Now let's talk about this area, the toolbar area. Now here we already have some of these tools on the toolbar, but if you want to customize this and if you want to bring some extra tools, you want to put them here, then you can easily do it just by customizing it. So simply right click on this blank area and select Customize Toolbar. Now this Customize Toolbar panel will pop up, and here all you need to do is drag and drop the tools that you want to add. So here we have all the tools which are already available on this toolbar, and these are the tools which are still not available on the toolbar. So if you want to add the tools from here to maybe the panel, then all you need to do is just select the tool, drag it and drop it, and it's now added. Select done, and we now have the Audi tool here on the toolbar. On the left side, we have drafting and modeling tabs, and these tabs, the drafting and modeling tabs, are also divided into respective panels. For example, here on the drafting tab, we have the draw panel, hatch, block, modify, text, dimension, and so on. Also on the modeling panel, we have the 3D tools, so solid, surface, mesh, UCS, draw, and so on. So these are the 3D tools. I'll move back to drafting. Now these panels don't contain all the tools. We have line, polyline, circle, and here if you click and hold your cursor, you will see all the remaining circle tools, so all the 6 circle tools. Similarly, if you click here and hold your cursor on the rectangle tool, you will get the rectangle and the polygon tools. So you can access these tools from here. But still, if you're not able to find any of the draw tools which you are expecting on the draw panel, then click on the gear icon right here and select the tool. So this list contains all the tools which we have here. So all the tools which are active are selected here, but these tools are not available on the panel. For example, we don't have 3D polyline, we don't have helix, donut. If you want to make them active, just select them from here. If not, just uncheck these tools. Similarly, you can toggle the visibility of tools on other panels as well. Now, if you want to make your own panel here on the drafting tab, then you can do that also pretty easily. So go to the bottom of this drafting tab, and right underneath this empty area, click on this plus icon, and this will open the new panel dialog box. Here you need to specify the name. So I'm going to select the new panel here, and I'll call it Source CAD. All right, now to add the tools here, all you need to do is find the tool and drag and drop it into this empty area. So the tools are here, all the tools of AutoCAD. All you need to do is just make a search. So go to search, type the name. So let's maybe add purge tool. So I'll type it, and this will show you the purge commands. I've got this purge tool here. I'll select it, I'll drag it and drop it, and it's added. Not only here, but it's also added here. You can add as many tools as you want on this new panel. Once you are done with this, click to get rid of the panel, and here we have a completely new panel, and you can just select your tools from this panel. If you don't want these panels, you can click on this bin icon just next to the gear icon, and this will just disappear. Select delete, and there we go. Just like the AutoCAD for Windows environment, we have the drawing area pretty similar, and this is the drawing area. On the top left, we have the view controls here. So right now we're in the top view. You can change it to any other view from this list. We have the visual style control right next to it, and then here we have the view cube. On the bottom left, we have the UCS, and here we have the command line or the command bar. The status bar is also at the same place, and here also if you want to activate or deactivate icons on the status bar, all you need to do is just go to this gear icon, click on it, and select the status bar options that you want to keep active. In this list, the icons which are active are these. The icons which are checked are active, and these are inactive icons. You can obviously check or uncheck these icons to make them visible here on the status bar. In this case, I will activate the constraint mode, and maybe I'll also deactivate the coordinates, and here's the result. Coordinates are gone, constraint mode is added. And I'll click on this gear icon to get rid of this. And I'll click outside in the blank area of the drawing to get rid of this. Now, if you don't see any of the objects from the drawing area, for example, if you don't have the view cube, then you can go to the view menu and toggle its visibility. So right now here we have the view cube, it's on. If it's off, it won't show up here. So just make sure it is checked. If not, check it. If you don't want to see the view cube here, just uncheck this. On the right side, we have here the layers and the properties panel. So on this tab, we have this layers panel, and here we have the properties panel. So the layer panel contains all the layer related tools, and if you want to see the complete list of layers, then click on this arrow, and now this menu will show you all the layers that we have here. So we only have a single layer here, as you can see, and also we have the similar set of tools like freeze, lock, and the line weight, the line type, and you can also scroll to the right to see the remaining tools. So we have the similar set of tools. Not all the tools are available here, but still we do have most of the tools. So I'm gonna just hide it. And similarly, for external references, you can go to the next tab right here. We have the reference manager, which is for external references. And for the block library, we have the content explorer. So on this content explorer, these are the blocks. The block library is not very comprehensive. It's not like the Windows Design Center. And in this case, you will find limited set of blocks. And to toggle between different blocks, all you need to do is just go to this menu and select the type of block that you want to find here. So civil related blocks, electrical, here are the electrical blocks, mechanical, and so on. Now moving back to the first tab. Now here we have the properties panel, and this property panel will show you the list of properties of selected object. Right now we don't have anything selected, so it's showing the property of our current drawing area. But if you want to see a condensed property or the properties which are very frequently used, then you can also select this My tab here. And now AutoCAD will only show you the list of condensed property or the frequently used properties. Now this list is fully customizable. It's your list. You can just modify it, and you can add or remove properties in this list. Now to modify this list, go to this edit option and check the properties that you want to keep and uncheck those which you don't want to keep. So for example, in this case, we don't want to keep any properties related to plot style. So here I'll simply uncheck this first option here on the plot style, and all the plot style properties will be unchecked. Also, let's say that in 3D visualization, we do want to keep the materials. So I'll only check this material, and now we'll have the material option. So once you're done with this, click on this edit icon again, and we are back to this, and here we have the material property. So again, I'll move back to all properties. Now, one of the most helpful tools in AutoCAD for Mac, in my opinion, will be the command search feature, which is here in the help menu. So go to help menu, and here, if you are not able to find any tool or command in AutoCAD for Mac, then you can make a search here. For example, let's say we want to find out the location of dimension style. So for that, I'll type dim, and here we are. So we have the dimension style right here. Select this, and here you'll get this menu with this marker indicating the location of your selected tool. You can not only find the location, but you can also select the tools directly. So if you just click here, dimension style will open up. And just like the standard Mac UI, you have the plus, the minus, and the gear icon. So add, remove, or customize. So in this case, we have standard and annotative dimension style. If you want to add a new one, click on this plus icon, give it a name, Click on continue to add it. If you want to modify any existing one, for example, standard, select it, click on the gear icon, select modify, and this will take you to modify dimension style. And here you can modify the dimension style, just like its Windows counterpart. So I'm going to now cancel it and I'll also close it. The workflow for accessing command in AutoCAD for Windows and Mac is almost similar. So to access the commands here, you need to select that command from the panels. So you can select the command from this left panel right here, or you can also use the command aliases and type the command alias or the name of command. In this case, if I hover my cursor, it will show the name of command and the command itself. Now using this command, you can start that particular command and you can type the name of command. For example, in this case, as you just now noticed that circle has its command, well, circle. So you can type circle and press enter and this will load the circle command. Now, instead of typing the complete circle command, you can also use the aliases. So in this case, the alias for circle is C. So simply type C and press enter, and once again, you'll have the circle command. Not all the commands have their aliases, and if a command has no alias associated with it, then you can use either the user interface to start the command, or you can also use its complete command name. If, however, you want to find the alias of any particular command, or maybe even if you want to modify it, then you can do it using the command line. So I'll go to this command line here and I'll click just here and I'll select edit command aliases. Now, in this case, if you want to modify the alias of any command, you can do it very easily from here, or even if you want to find the alias of command, you can do it. So let's say we want to find out the alias of block command. Now for that, just type the name. In this case, block, and you will notice that we have 4 commands associated with block command. So we have this ACAD block dialog, which is a system variable. Then we have the block command, which is B. So this is the command which you can use for block tool. So once you're done, click OK, or in this case, cancel. Now the commands in AutoCAD have some sub commands as well. And whenever command starts, it will look, well, something like this. So I'll first go to status bar and I'll activate this option, which will be active in your case by default. So now if I select any command, in this case I'll select polyline, the command will look like this. So I'll have this cursor right next to it. I'll have the instruction. It's the same instruction which we have on the command line. So now we can follow the instruction to make the drawing. So I'm going to click here. That's our first point. And now we can specify the second, third, and so on. But if you don't want to do that, and if you want to use the sub commands, for example, in this case, if you look at the command line, the sub commands are arc, half width, length, undo, and width. So if you want to select from any of these commands, then all you need to do is type the uppercase letter of these commands. For example, if you want to start an arc, then type A here and press enter. And now the arc command started here. So this is how you can use the sub commands in AutoCAD for Mac. Now another example is with the circle tool. So I'm going to now select the circle tool. And once again, if you look at the command line, we have the sub commands called 3P, 2P, and TTR. 3P is the 3-point circle, 2P is the 2-point circle, and TTR is the tangent radius circle. Now let's say that we want to make a 3-point circle. Well, for this case, you need to type 3P and press enter, and the command will change to 3-point circle. If you want to make tangent radius circle, then you need to simply type T, which is the uppercase letter here, and press enter, and the TTR subcommand will start. So in this case, I'm going to type 2P. So 2P, and I'll press enter, and the 2-point command started. Now I'll select the first point and the second, and we have the circle with 2 points. Now in this case, whenever you select a command, it will show that command on the cursor tooltip as well. So if in this case I select the line command, I'll have the tooltip here on the cursor as well. Now this tooltip can be a little distracting, and in most of the situations I'll ask you to deactivate this and work directly with the command line. Now to deactivate this tooltip, you can go to the command line and select this dynamic input option. So turn off this dynamic input, and if it's off, it's going to look like this. It will look gray. If it's on, it will look blue. If you don't see the dynamic input option here, then go to this gear icon and select this dynamic input. Make sure this is checked, and when it is checked, it will show on the status bar, and then you can deactivate it from the status bar. And that's how you can access commands here in AutoCAD for Mac. So this was an introduction to the Mac environment of AutoCAD, and now I believe you are familiar with the tool sets required for following along the AutoCAD for Mac using AutoCAD for Windows course. So let's head back to our course.